Hey guys and girls, how's it going? And welcome back to the second part of our 50k Q&A session with myself, Lewis. Hope you're brilliant, having yourself a great day. As always, it looks like you guys really enjoyed the first part. It was a good laugh for me, you know, going through some of the questions and whatnot, but we have an absolute ton to be going through today. So much like the first one, make sure you got yourself a nice cup of tea, coffee, fruit juice, a glass of water if you want to keep it simple, whatever tickles your fancy, and we will resume. So the first question is going to be, if I can find it, I've got a giant list right here. What do you use for recording? So I use a couple of things, actually. I used to use Fraps for recording, and that's a good one of doing it. Another one that you can use is OBS. I know Open Broadcast System is generally used for streaming, but you can record with that, and I've seen some people using that, and it works just fine. It's free of charge, so it's a pretty good one to be using. But currently I use DxTory, and the main reason I use DxTory is just because of the customization. You can do a lot more with DxTory than you can with Fraps. There's a lot more options, you can change things around, and the option of having double sound files is really, really good. Whenever you do Fraps, you generally get the movie clip and you get the sound file, but the sound file is the mixture of the game volume and you talking, whereas with DxTory you get you talking and you get the game sound. You get two separate lines of audio, and that means that you can play around a little bit more. Maybe the sound of the game you're playing is a little bit too loud, or for instance, when I play Regrowth, for some reason, whenever I open a reward bag, it's amazingly loud. So in the editing process, I can turn that down without turning my vocals down, which, is really handy. So that's the main reason I use DxTory. But, if you're kind of starting up, I would say check out OBS, because I have tried it, and it's not that bad, I must admit. Whenever it comes to streaming or anything like that, I use XSplit, but again, you can use DxTory. They're pretty much one and the same thing. I think XSplit has a few more options, but you do have to pay for it. But I'm probably going to move over to OBS. I have a 3-month subscription with XSplit. I got it free of charge. When that runs out, I'm probably just going to switch to OBS, because it's free of charge. And a lot of people make plugins for OBS, which are really good if you're streaming. So, like when things pop up on the screen and whatnot. There's a lot more of those made for OBS than there are for XSplit, so yeah, I guess it's worth checking those out. Next one, are you a potato? Yes. 100% with little knobbly bits on it. I'm growing. I'm getting out of this cage. Most enjoyable moment? Most enjoyable moment? Probably setting up this channel, to be honest. When I had my first channel originally, and that was a good laugh. But when we set this one up, I was stretching my wings out. It was the start of a new generation. Enterprise just took off. It was brilliant. And I kind of sat down and decided what I want on the channel. I worked on the artwork and stuff. It was a real good laugh. And then when we put the first video out saying that it's moved over, it was a nice moment. So yeah, I cherish that one. How did I get my channel name? So I get asked this all the time, and it's a real silly one, to be honest. If I could go back now and change it, I probably would, to something a little bit more meaningful. But it was basically, I didn't expect the channel to go that far. I was kind of, I just wanted to upload some videos here and there. And someone said, oh, you know what? Why don't you use this name? There was like, I dare you to use this name. I was like, nah, I'm not going to use that. He was like, oh, this is a really good name. I was like, oh, fine. All right, I'll use it. And yeah, that's where I went from there. You know what? I've kind of grown used to it now, but I guess if I could change it, I probably would. What I would change it to, I have absolutely no idea. But a channel name's a channel name. People know me as Lewis. I don't really care too much about the channel name behind it. But that's that one. So yeah, not a really brilliant story right there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that one right there. Is YouTube your full-time job? No, it's not. It's a mixture of many things. I don't have a full-time job. I do all different bits. I'm kind of one of those people that doesn't like to have an overhead. I know it sounds really strange, and it's not because I'm a bit of a bad person when it comes to having bosses. I'm going to terrorize them and whatnot. I just generally don't like having people kind of over the top of me, whereas I would prefer to kind of be my own boss. And when you do that and you do the whole self-employed thing, it is tricky, because you have to make sure that obviously you're making the money. If you don't work, you don't make any money. So I can take a few days off. I can take a whole week off if I choose to. You know, I could take 2 weeks off, but I won't get paid anything for it. Now, as far as the actual work that I do, YouTube is a part of that, but I also do music lessons. So, in the last part, I said that I got an education in music. I teach guitar privately now and then, so that's not bad. I do little bits of artwork here and there for kind of small businesses, so like pamphlets, leaflets, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Most of my time does go into YouTube, I must admit. It's one of the longest taken, it takes a lot of time to... The stuff that you see after the video, or the stuff that you, once I've done the video and recorded it, the stuff after that is what takes the time. It's, the editing process, the rendering process, the uploading process, especially the uploading process, because you know what, you can have the most amazing internet in the world, and once you've sent it over to YouTube, it's all down to their processing system then. No amazing computer on your end or internet speed is going to speed up their processing time. That can take some time. It very much depends how YouTube's feeling some days, It could be a few hours, it could be 10 minutes. I've tried to figure out when's a good time to upload, and I can't get it right. Sundays are not bad, and generally during the middle of the day, in UK time, I don't know what it's like for other places, but during the middle of the day generally seems pretty quick as well for their processing. I can upload a video in 5-10 minutes because I got pretty decent internet, but yeah, the processing time on their end can really determine how long the video takes to actually be available to you guys. But yeah, that's a little bit kind of out of the question there. But yeah, for the full-time job, no, I don't do YouTube full-time. I kind of do. I don't know. I do other stuff. I don't just do YouTube, but it is a large chunk of the time that's taken up. Do I play any sports in school? I did. I actually played a bunch of sports. I used to play badminton. I was in the rugby team. I used to play football. I used to love doing that sort of stuff. It was a good laugh, I used to have a fair few friends that were all sporty and whatnot. I would never actually class myself as a sporty person, because I used to do, out at school, I used to do boxing and karate and all that sort of stuff when I was younger. And it wasn't even my choice to do that. It was more the, my family or my parents wanted me to do something like that. So I was like, well, you know what? Fair enough. I went and did it. I enjoyed it, made some friends. That's a good thing with sports activities, isn't it? You make some decent friends, you get to meet new people, and anything like that. Even if you don't really... Well, it's not if you don't enjoy it, but if you're not that bothered about it, then why not, I guess, Anything that's a bit of a social activity is always nice. And the same for in school. I used to do rugby there, I used to do football. The rugby was mainly because it got me out of some of the lessons, not going to lie. But it was a good laugh, I used to be one of the fast kids. When you go to school and you always have that one kid that just destroys everyone else in any type of running competition, hurdles, running, anything like that. I was that kid. I couldn't do the long runs. You'd have the fast kids, and then you'd have the ones that could run half a day and still be just fine. I wasn't one of those. I couldn't do the big ones, but hurdles, regular running, anything like that was easy for me. I think it's because I used to do a lot of out of school, social stuff. We used to do the boxing stuff, and I was an avid skateboarder when I was younger. I used to be one of those skateboarding kids. Everyone has their genre, don't they, when they're younger. You're either the kind of the town going guy, you could be the one that stays at home, you could have a million girlfriends, there's so many different genres, isn't there, of people, but generally someone fits into one of those. And I was that kind of skatery kid. We used to hang around the seafront with our skateboards. We used to go buy a big 2-litre bottle of lemonade for 15 pence before we went down, because we had no money, and we'd go to Lidl's or somewhere like that. I don't know if you have that in other countries, but in the UK we have a really cheap line of superstores called Lidl's, and they sell German goods, and it's cheap as chips, and it actually doesn't taste that bad. But yeah, we used to go there, buy a box of cookies for 30 pence, some lemonade for 15 pence, and that would do us. We'd throw it in our backpack, and we'd go off for the day skateboarding, and that was a good laugh. So yes. I went well off that topic just now. I apologise for that. I am on a timer at the minute. I actually put a timer for this episode for 30 minutes because I don't want to run over. So when you hear a weird alarm going, you know that the timer's up, and then if we haven't got through all of them, we'll do a third part. But I'm trying not to spend too much time on each one of them. I find it very easy to babble on, like I'm doing now. Another one is, do I know people from Forgecraft and will I ever play on there? I get asked this a fair bit. I do know some of the people from Forgecraft. I'm friends with a few of them. Will I ever play on there? No, of course not. It's not really my thing, to be honest with you. And chances are I'd never get asked to play on there either. It's not... I don't really know that. I think when it comes to Forgecraft, because people really like, they know Direwolf 20s and all that sort of stuff. I think nowadays it's more who you know than how good you are. You need, they bring in friends and stuff like that, which is their choice, isn't it? It's run by those guys. They can bring in who absolutely ever they like. You don't have to make mods to get on there. You could be good friends with one of them and good times. But do I know any of the people from there? I know a few of them. Yeah. One question I got in, which is very random, is it just says banana. Banana. Do you know what? I don't know how to take that. Do I want a banana? I'm quite keen to a partial banana now and then, as long as it hasn't gone too ripe. I don't like the blackness on the edges. I don't really know what to say to this question. Do you want me to explain the anatomy of a banana? I don't really. Yeah, banana. Go for it. Do I have a recording schedule? No. Should I have a recording schedule? That's not one of the questions asked. That's me asking my question. Should I have a recording schedule? Yes. Do I? No. Do I try to have one? I try to stick to a general kind of thing. I'll look at my video uploads and I'll go, you know what, I did this one yesterday and that one, but I didn't do these ones, so I should probably do these ones now. That's kind of my recording schedule, I did, what did we do yesterday? We did City Skylines yesterday. That was a YouTube day where it took ages to process, hence why there was only one video yesterday. City Skylines, I think it's because I did it in 1080. I generally don't do 1080 unless it's something else than Minecraft. And that took like 3 hours to process. That's ridiculous. I don't know what they were doing, whether the monkeys were tired or they forgot to replace the hamsters in the wheels, something like that. But it took absolutely ages for that to process, which sometimes limits the amount of videos that I can upload on a daily basis. But I should have a recording schedule. I don't. I just try to upload what I haven't uploaded in the last couple of days. That's just how I do it. If there's been a couple of days since an episode of something's been out, the chances are it's coming out. That's the way it is. As far as streaming schedules, I don't have any of those yet, but we hopefully will fairly soon. Without looking it up, when polar bears hibernate, do you think they have dreams? Of course they do. Would you like? Of course they have dreams. They dream of eating fish and running around boundless by the emptiness, expanse of the polar regions. I don't even want to think. They think about. They must dream all the things. It must be beautiful. They dream about eating Eskimos or Inuits. I don't know the actual the term that they use nowadays. I know I used to call them Eskimos, but I think they might like Inuits now, or Snowfolk, or Whenever I say Snowfolk, it always reminds me for some reason of those Sand Riders out of Star Wars. I don't know why, but the little thing, those little guys. I don't get it. But yeah, that's we're gonna move on from that one. Would you ever think about doing a Draw My Life? And are you good at drawing? I don't actually know what Draw My Life is. I think this is like a YouTuber thing or a streamer thing. Maybe. I'm going to take a random guess that you draw your life, is it basically just going on to Paint and drawing things that you've done? I guess that's kind of what it is. Maybe you kind of rub it out or something, like an Etch-a-Sketch. What's that, text message? Yeah, that's not the alarm. We got 15 minutes yet. Yeah, would I do it? Probably. Why not? Am I any good at drawing? I'm not bad. I've got one of those drawing pads for my computer because I used to use it a long time back, a bamboo one. So I guess if I use that, I'd probably be all right. Can I draw with my mouse? No, not to save my life. But maybe that's something we should do. Maybe we should do that on stream, I'm looking for stream content to do at the minute. I always find it really hard to come up with what I want to stream that's going to be entertaining and something that I can engage with people. Because I want to make sure that I can, talk to people. That's the big thing about streaming to me. If you stand there you sit there just playing and not talking and not interacting with the people that are joining your stream, well, I just find that a total waste of time. So, I guess that could be one thing that we could do. It could be entertaining, I'm looking for options. So, yeah, why not? Do you love cake? I do love cake. I think it's very high emphasis on love right here. I don't know if I love it as in, I love pistachio flavored ice cream, but I do like ice cream. Do I love it? I like ice fingers. I'll give you that one. And the Viennese Wells, they're pretty funky. But nothing that has chocolate flavored cream on the top. I don't know why. Like a gatto, it's too much for me. It's too much. It's too fattening, I would say. So just give me a nice ice finger, a little bit of pink icing on the top. I'm not afraid of that. I'll take it, and I'll be happy. I'll be nice and happy. So this is a bit of a long one. I'm going to have to kind of read this one out from the other side of my screen because it goes off the page. Are you living under an assumed identity because you once testified against an organised crime syndicate? Are you a deep cover agent working for the Mossad? Are the Swiss authorities investigating you for the theft of millions in gold bullion? Yes. You've got me. I hold my hands up. I'm not going to give you my address though because I'm getting away with this one. I would, I got billions for days. Not going to tell you where I got them from though. Swiss authorities can't catch me. I'm like a dark ninja hiding in the backgrounds of the economical situation. That's kind of what we're going for right here. That's a question. That's a question and a half. I don't really know where to go with that one. I remember your very first house/setup tour in your room ages ago. You've moved since then, so can you do a new one? Maybe, yeah. I only did the last one because it was Boxing Day, and if you're a YouTuber and you don't have any content to put out, well, you just do a room tour. It's the most laziest option, isn't it? That's if you ever see a YouTuber and he does a room tour or a gaming setup tour, I guarantee you that he had no content planned for that day. Like that is literally, I promise you, he did not have any planned for that day. He was like, oh man, what should I record? Oh, I need to go do this. I haven't set this stuff up. You know what I'll do? I'll get my phone out and I'll quickly record my computer. That's literally what I did. It's like Boxing Day. I was in my pajamas or my dressing gown. I was like, I don't know what to record. Can't be bothered. I'm going to go and drink and eat some stuff. Let's quickly record my room. But maybe we'll do another one of those. I haven't really got too much else to show, to be honest. My room's actually smaller than it was before since we moved. But it's kind of set out a little bit nicer. I've laid some soundproofing around the areas to make sure that the sound doesn't bounce off because the computer's facing the window, which is pretty bad for recording because glass sends the sound back a lot easier. But yeah, maybe. I don't see why not. I haven't got any new computer stuff from the last one, but I don't see why not. Maybe we'll do like a little house tour or something, Maybe you can see what's going down in the pad. Can you try to do playthroughs with other YouTubers more often? Maybe. I generally tend not to for a few reasons. And I'm not saying that I don't want to. I would do it, but the main reasons I don't do it is time periods. It sounds really silly seeing as I don't have a schedule. But I'm generally pretty busy. I have a lot of stuff to do with YouTube. And then there's the private stuff that I do out of, like the work stuff I do privately. And the art stuff and whatnot. And I don't generally have any free time, or not much of it, and that means that it's very hard to set aside time. When you're doing something with someone, they're like, oh, well, we can do it Saturdays at 3 o'clock. Maybe I can't do a Saturday. Sometimes there's other important things which need to be done, and it really makes it awkward to arrange certain times. When I used to do the stuff with Nemson, we used to do that really late at night. And because that was the easiest time for both of us to do it. But I used to wake up absolutely knackered the next day. Like, I would get up and I would struggle to get videos done for that day, even though we just recorded one. But, other series started suffering because of it. And I very much like to just sit down and record and not have to wait for someone else to get themselves into gear. And I'm not saying that they're slow. I'm just saying, they work on their own time schedule and I work on mine. Sometimes it conflicts, and I just like to be able to make sure that the content I want to make, I can make in time for you guys to be able to see. And maybe when the channel grows a little bit more, I can stop doing one of the other things, and then I can put a little bit more time aside to work with other people. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with doing what I'm doing at the minute. But there's nothing stopping me from doing something with someone else. Maybe someone's free all the time. You know, it'd be great to work with someone that's always free, you know, because then they could, then I can get them to work around my schedule. But maybe that's asking a little bit too much. Why do you like Minecraft? Man, I was about to say, who do you like Minecraft? Why do you like Minecraft? So this is a really big question. I could go on this for ages. I don't really want to, because we haven't got too much time left. But the main reasons I like Minecraft is just the openness of it, you know, and the modding side of it really brought it together. Like in the last Q&A session that we did, I said that I never played the original Minecraft, and I didn't. I only started playing it when the modding side of it came out, and that opened up so many doors, didn't it? You know, you had the technological side of it. You had the technology. I'm just going to take a sip of water. I have been talking way too much. Yeah, you got the technical side of it, and you have the free roam of it, the building. You can do whatever you like, and there's not many games out there where you can do that. You know, there's games where they give you a lot of openness to explore, and maybe there's a specific genre where you can do whatever you like. You know, like you have the Command and Conquers, you can build whatever you like and make your little civilization however you want it to be. Same with like Civilization, Sid Meier's and things like that. But none of them have the openness of Minecraft. You know, they stick to a specific genre that is set in stone. You play Sid Meier's, you can make your you know, your place all over the place. You can build your units. You can do whatever you like. You have a lot of free roam on what you can do, but you're still stuck to the genre that is a real-time strategy game. Whereas with Minecraft, you can make your real-time strategy game. You know, I know it sounds kind of strange. You know, if you really like playing the open FPS games, that's great, but you can't stop and make a house. But in Minecraft, you can. You know, you could play on one of the servers that have all of the one in the barrel and things like that. But then you can come back and you can do a little bit of building. Like, that's what I love about it. The openness is amazing. It's not stuck to one specific genre. A lot of people give it the whole, like, you know, it's a voxel-based open sandbox experience, but it's a lot more than that. You know, a lot of the open sandbox voxel-based experiences out there that are kind of Minecraft-ish don't have the openness that's needed to allow you to be that creative that you can be in Minecraft. You know, it's not just about building nowadays. You can do so much, you know, with all the redstone mini games, and since the command blocks and the mods and things, it's a whole nother game. It's not even a game anymore. It's basically an open reign to do whatever you want, which is, you know, it's amazing. There's not many games like that. That's the main reason why I like it. Have you done anything great in your life? Ooh. I think the biggest thing was when I played in front of a few thousand people. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoy playing music as well as I love teaching it. And even though it's not, you know, it's not like an amazing amount of people, but a few thousand people for me was pretty intense, you know, and I love that. I cherish that moment. Standing on stage and playing is one of the greatest things you can ever do. Well, to me it is. I love it. And, you know, seeing people smile and dance around, that was insane. One of the best places we ever played, which sounds really strange, and you probably think, oh, how did you even enjoy this? Is we played at my old primary school, believe it or not. All these little kids there, I was like between 18 and 20, I can't remember, between 18 and 20, and all the kids there, you know, primary school were like 8, 9, and they all came in for assembly, and they all sat down for their midday assembly, and we had our gear out and stuff. They must have been thinking, what in the world is going on? Why is there a drum kit and guitars and racks and stuff? And we started playing, and first thing was terrifying, because we started playing and one of the kids started crying. It was like, oh my god, what have we done? But it turns out he doesn't like loud stuff, so he quickly got escorted out of the room. But by the end of it, we had all the kids, instead of just sitting down, because you go to assembly, you sit down, maybe you sing some hymns or whatnot, and your head teacher rambles on about stuff you don't care about. But near the end of it, they're all jumping up and dancing, and it was really cool. You know, I love that moment. That's probably one of the top ones for me. You might not think it's that amazing, but it was really cool. You know, influencing the younger generation is exactly what older people should be doing. Not saying I'm old, I'm only 25, but yeah. Getting a head start. What's the next one? Have you done anything great in life? What was your first video? So my first video was on my older channel, and it was, I think I mentioned this in the last Q&A bit, but it was a review on a tablet called a HP touchpad that very quickly went out of being made because HP went down the drain of their tablets. But yeah, it was that. It was recorded in my bathroom on a towel because it was a white bathroom. The floor was nice and white with a white towel. It looked very clean, didn't it? You know, whenever you see these unboxing review type things, it's always two pairs of hands, a random guy talking, and a very nice, clean, crisp white background. And that's kind of what I was going for. Oh, I just hit my microphone. That's kind of what I was going for. It was terrifying. I was absolutely awful. I couldn't talk to save my life, and it was recorded through a camera without an actual microphone. You know, the camera had the microphone built into it, so you can take a guess how bad that was. That was popping and all sorts of random noises, flushing of chains. No, I didn't really. But yeah, it was pretty bad. But that was the first video that I ever made, and then I went on to doing, I think there was a couple of other technical mumbo jumbo reviews, and I started playing a playthrough of I think it was Rock of Ages, something like that. I think maybe it's one of the ones I did, but yeah, somewhere around about there. But there you go, that was the first video that we did on the other channel. If you want to know the first video on this one, it was a Tekkit with Lewis episode, because that was my big series going at the time between the transition of the two channels. And yeah, that was the first video, I think. So we got 4 minutes left, or 4.5 minutes left. Let's have a look at what we've gotten left. We've actually made through quite a nice chunk, but we are going to have to do a third part, which is, you know, that's fine. What's the next one then? How did you meet your... Oh, how did you meet your old friends like Nemson and Dudar? So, they all came from Nemson, pretty much. I was doing the Tekkit stuff. It was actually when I was doing one of the Feed the Beast series, like a few years back. I got an email from Nemson on my old channel, which is quite funny actually. I got an email from Nemson on my old channel asking if I would like to join the Utopia group to do Utopia Unleashed or Ultimate. It was the first one that had GregTech in it. I think it was FTB Ultimate, which is basically what the new Feed the Beast Resurrection is based off of. It's like a sequel. That was the first season that they had, and I was asked to join that. And a funny little thing was, he basically found my videos and thought, you know what, I'm going to ask him to come join. He asked a lot of YouTubers to come join the Utopia thing, set it all up. And he asked me on that, and then he also asked me on the new channel. And didn't realise I was the same person. So I got the first email, and I emailed him back from the first channel. And then like a week later, I got the email on the second channel, the new one that I just set up, asking the exact same thing. And I was like, did you just email me again? And he was like, no, I only emailed you once. I was like, you used to email a guy called WTF Geeks, and he was like, yeah. I was like, that's me. And he's like, oh, you do kind of sound the same. Well, that's probably because we're the same person. But yeah, that's how I met him, and then through him I met Dudart and all those. They used to play on a server together called the Madlands, which was a vanilla server, and they did that like since like years and years ago when Minecraft was in its infancy. And they all used to get on there, so you used to have like Dudart, Nemson, Ego, Andy, they all used to play on there, and I met all of them through Nemson. That was pretty much it. When I first started doing the YouTube stuff, I didn't really know any other YouTubers. I only knew my friends that wanted to do YouTube stuff. So those were the first people that I actually properly met, and that's that's how I got to know them. I think Dudart now, I don't think he does any videos anymore because he's got a job. He's got a real life job. He's become a real person. Man, I'm never going to join the ranks of those. But he's definitely going somewhere, which is good for him. He enjoys it. So yeah, we are like 2 minutes left, so let's try and ramble on with this next one. Has anyone ever asked you who you were talking to as you were recording and they didn't know? And if they did, yeah, so I know, yeah. All right, so have I ever been asked like who am I talking to in my room or anything like that when I've been doing my videos all the time? Like, you get it all the time. The people I live with now have got used to it, so they don't ask anymore. They know exactly what I do. But when I used to do stuff with my parents, they used to ask me all the time. I used to have like friends around. They'd ask what I was doing. I even, one time when we were streaming, someone was outside, the next door neighbours, and they heard me like shouting away in my room. I can't remember what he was doing, some live stream, and he came and knocked on the door. He's like, "You alright up there? Have you got like, are you having a party or something?" I was like, No. I was just recording. And he must have thought I was a complete nutter. Like, you must think that though, mustn't you? And you think about what people are listening to outside your door. You can hear the music and the game volume and whatnot, but all they hear is you talking to yourself. That must be the weirdest thing. And the amount of times I've had people like you know, if we've had people around, I've had people knock on my door and they're like, who are you talking to? Or I came downstairs once and I caught my grandparents were here. I caught my grandparents talking to someone that came around. It was like my auntie or uncle, and they were like, "I just went upstairs to go to your toilet, and you know, Lewis is he's blabbering away in there about something. Like, has he got friends around, or is he on the phone, or what? He's going mental." And they were like, "No, he does the YouTube stuff." And they're like, "Oh, what's YouTube?" He's like, "Well, I don't really know, but he talks to himself." That's about as far as my grandparents' understanding of YouTube goes. They don't know what it actually is, but you know what? If I talk to myself and it makes money, then they're more than happy about that. But yeah, I've had so many people ask me, like, what have I been doing, or why can I hear you shouting away in your room and all that sort of stuff. You know, I tend to keep it down to a limit, but I need to make sure that I'm getting my, you know, you guys can hear me nicely. So, yeah, that is that one. And, that is bang on time. Listen to that, the timer. Cool beans. Alright, guys, well, that's been half an hour of Q&A stuff. We're going to be doing a third one after this. It's going to be glorious, and I think we basically have just enough questions to last another good half an hour for us. I can't believe we have so many questions, but you know what? I'd like to make sure that I make my way through as many as I can, you know, so, yeah. But I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you soon for the next one. Have yourself a great day. Have a good one, as always, and bye-bye.